We will be discussing about posterior cruciate ligament (PCL). Now, PCL is the thickest and the strongest ligament of the knee. The size is about 2 to 3 centimeter, and it is a very bulky sort of ligament. It is consisted of two bundles. One is the anterior lateral bundle and the smaller posterior middle bundle. And both of them will insert on the tibia on the slope. Now this slope is called as a champagne block appearance. If you see like this is a champagne block. So that is called as a champagne dip. And this is a very important when you are doing an arthroscopy to make your photos. Now this is a very strong ligament. It is usually not torn in a routine injury cases like ACL. It's a very strong ligament. You need to have a very high velocity or a high trauma to have a PCL injury. Most common mechanism, as we told, is a dashboard injury. So a direct hit on the proximal tibia will lead to a PCL injury. Now two types of PCL injury are common. One is a substance injury and the second is a avulsion. So these are the two most common injuries, avulsion injuries or the substance injury. Now PCL injuries overall is a little different from an ACL injury in terms that one is a PCL is a centralizer of the knee or the stabilizer of the knee. So what that means is if you have a multi-ligament injury like ACL, PCL, MCL, LCL, and if you want to know the priority, then PCL is the first priority, because if PCL is torn, the knee will be shifted like back in this direction and you cannot restore all other ligaments. So it is the centralizer ligament and central stabilizer. So this will not be torn with a normal force. You have to have a high velocity trauma, and if there is this associated multi-ligament injury, you have to assess the primary injury first. With PCL injury, whenever there is a PCL injury, you must rule out the injury to the nerves and the vessels. It is very common to have popliteal artery injury, thrombosis, and the knees. Very commonly associated with the avulsions. So that you need to rule it out. Apart from that, whenever there is a PCL injury, you need to look at the medial and lateral collateral ligaments. It may be torn, and PCL injury is very commonly associated with lateral compartment injury, that is called as the posterior lateral compartment. So PCL with PLC is very common. Even PCL with MCL is also a common factor. Now, if so far as the fixation goes or the reconstruction goes, you need to do a ACL reconstruction. So you can do a double bundle reconstruction or a single bundle reconstruction. Now, as compared to ACL, the difference is in most of the times with PCL tear, you will be finding a PCL ligament. Contrary to the ACL injury, that you will go into the joint, you will not see the ACL ligament. If there is an ACL injury, you will not see the ligament. The ligament will be torn. In PCL injuries, whenever you go into the joint, you will be seeing a PCL. Most of the times, 90% of the times, you will be seeing a PCL which will be less, because as I told you, it is a very broad ligament, about 2 to 2.5 centimeter insertion on the medial femoral condyle. It is a huge surface area and a large bulky ligament, and it usually heals also. So whenever there is an injury, there will be some healing and you will be seeing some ligament, remnant, some ligament there. So we will try. So ligament reconstruction was the surgery which was described earlier, and previously when the techniques were good, people used to debride the PCL and then reconstruct it. So now, because we have seen that this is a very good ligament, most of the cases it is intact, so we don't touch the ligament. So the change in the concept over the time is that for PCL, you should not do a reconstruction by removing the PCL, but you need to do an PCL augmentation, which means that you need to augment a PCL, you need to put the graft over and above the existing PCL. So you don't touch the PCL which is there, because it will be there in 90% of the cases. Like I will show you tomorrow. So in that case also, you will see a PCL, but it will be a sort of a lax PCL. So the conceptual change now is a PCL augmentation. So don't touch the PCL, don't remove the PCL remnants, don't remove the lax PCL, and you just put the PCL over and above. That is what the change in concept has been. Now you can do a single bundle or a double bundle. Most commonly you do a single bundle, and if you do a single bundle, you need to augment the anterolateral one, that is the top button. So if you are seeing it in 90 degrees, you need to see it from the top. So the top upper one, you need to reconstruct the augment. Now you say that if you don't want to remove this PCL remnant, then it is imperative that you do the surgery with posterior portals. If you are doing the surgery with anterior portals only, then you need to do a little bit of debridement to maneuver your instruments posterior. So for this technique, for PCL augmentation, it is imperative that you do the surgery with the instruments and the scope in the posterior portals. So that is called as a posterior portal technique. Now there are two techniques. You can use a single portal or a double portal. So what we normally use is a technique which is called as a double posterior portal technique. In that also there are two subdivisions. You can do it from a posterior lateral and a posterior middle portal. What I commonly use is I use a two posterior portals. That is, one is a high posterior middle portal and one is a low posterior middle. So two portals on the posterior middle aspect. And if you do your instrumentation in viewing through this, you don't need to remove this existing stump of the PCL. Okay. So this is a change which is done over time, like the cases all we have done. You might have seen that we have not touched the PCL at all while doing a PCL reconstruction surgery, because nowadays it is not reconstruction, it is an augmentation. So what you do is you go onto the posterior middle corner of the knee or posterior middle space of the knee, make two portals, then use the above portal, the higher one as the viewing portal and the lower one as the working portal, and then you reconstruct. Now important thing is, as far as your PPL side is concerned, you need to go low. So your exit point should be at this level. If it is coming at this level, it is a mistake. And then you will have residual access. So the lower you go, the better the results you will attain in your surgeries. So you need to make your portals as low, or your entry point or your footprint as low as possible. It is about 1 to 1.5 centimeter low from the PPL side. So you need to go as low as possible. And you need to clear some space here so that you can put your chip there. And if you are using two posterior portals, either a posterior middle or a posterior lateral portal, it becomes an easier thing for you to do this particular step. Same if you are doing a PCL avulsion, then also we use the same technique using two portals and using it with the two portals, posterior middle, posterior lateral portal, or high posterior middle, low posterior middle portal, and doing the same like we did yesterday. So this goes about the PCL. Now, what is the graft of choice for a PCL? What is the graft that you will like to put for a PCL surgery or PCL augmentation surgery? Peroneus. So my peroneus. So you need any graft which is thicker, which is stronger. So you can use a quadruple STG, semi-tenuous gracilis. That is a good graft, but usually the thickness of the layer is less. So you can definitely use a peroneus to make it bigger. You can compare peroneus with 70 or peroneus with gracilis. But you need to have surely a bigger graft as compared to a standard ACL. So it is preferable if you have less, minimum 8 or 9 size for your graft. So that is about this thing. Now what about the femoral fixation? And what about the femoral entry? So like this is your femur. And you will have a like this. If you are seeing from the lateral portal, this is your middle side. So here you need to make your footprint on the upper part. Okay, because as we told you that this is a reconstruction of or augmentation of the anterolateral bundle if you are doing a single member. So make it on the top, don't make it low. So take it if you are looking from sideways, you make your bundle as high as possible, or the femoral footprint as high as possible. So that is a very important thing that you need to take care if you need to do a PCL augmentation single bundle. You need to reconstruct anterolateral is high. So make your portal high. Then this tunnel you can make by different techniques. So the most common techniques which are used are, one is a through the joint, so a inside out technique or a outside technique. So outside there is a special J that you can use. or inside out also you can use basically a pointer, and then we normally use an inside out technique by using a pointer, then a drill, then a endodermal ribbon, and then a regular ribbon on the side of the graph. So this is what on the femur, this is on the tibia. Now the most important thing for tibia is the protection of the posterior structures. So whenever you are drilling the tibia, you need to have a protection support on the posterior aspect, because we don't want to injure the umbilicus. The other thing is when you are using a shaver, you need to have the shaver blade facing towards the bone, not the soft tissue. And the third thing is, in this particular area, don't use arms, because radio frequency will generate heat. So if you generate heat, you can have thrombosis of the pocket. Right. So never use a RF typically on this aspect, on the external capsule aspect of the TV. So that is, these are the basic things that you need to look for in PCL surgery. Now apart from this, when the rehabilitation is concerned, you need to go slow. Definitely you can recommend a PCL brace with a posterior support or a posterior abutment, and you need to have a slow rehabilitation as compared to a brace. So normally we keep this patient in brace for a period of 1.5 months, and we do a slow gradual rehabilitation, including a slow range of motion, and we usually recommend a PCL brace. A PCL, the prototype of PCL brace is a jack brace. There is a jack brace, which is a hinge brace, and it is a posterior. But we can have some customized Indian sort of variants of these braces, which ideally should be given in this for PCL reconstruction or PCL exercises. If you have a multi-ligament injury, then as I told you, PCL is a priority. You can leave ACL for the second stage, but you need to do at least PCL. So if there is a combined ACL and a PCL injury, and you need to do one surgery, you do PCL, never do ACL. Because PCL will stabilize it and make it to the front. You can do ACL in the front. So the first surgery you need to do for any multi-ligament procedures is a PCL, and that is a priority. You can take care of the rest of the ligaments later on. Or if you want to do it, you can do simultaneously, but you should at least do PCL in multi-ligament, because it will stabilize the knee. Otherwise the knee will be in a posterior sack position, and you will not be able to reconstruct the collaterals of the ACL. So these are the basic concepts about the PCL that you should follow. Any questions?
Sir, for this tibial fixation, we are drilling a whole tibial tunnel.
Yes.
So there will be a killer loop.
Yes. So for decreasing that killer turn, we are describing this. So this, as I told you, this is your tibia. Okay. So now, if you make your tunnel here, which is very common, specifically if you are not using the posterior portals, most of the times the tunnel will be here, and then the killer tunnel will be very high, and you will have a very high chances of residual laxity. So what we want is, we want a tunnel which is here, which is at least 1 to 1.5 centimeters below the tibial joint. That is very important. That reduces the killer turn, because what that will do is, by this, your graph will go like this. So it will be a less acute. If it is like this, it is more acute. So to reduce this, you need to go low on your tibial side, as low as possible. That is called as a champagne bottle. The sign. So champagne bottle is like, if you are doing like this, and it is like this. So this is like a champagne bottle. So this is very important. You need to go low to reduce the killer turn. And if you do everything, most of these patients, you may have residual laxity. It is very common in PCL. So if you do a very good job, very good reconstruction, still you can have a grade 1 post-operative laxity, which is quite common. And that is why, to prevent this augmentation, don't touch the normal PCL, don't touch the normal fibers, don't remove them. That is number 1. Then you need to use this killer tunnel concept. These are the things that you need to do, and you need to make your portal, you made your tunnel as low as possible. These are the things that you should do. Anything else? For PCL. As far as fixation goes, you can use button on the femur and screw on the tibia. You can use buttons on both the sides. You can use screws on both the sides. Right? These are all technical. That depends on you. Femur, as I told you, inside out or outside, both are fine. If you are using inside out, you can use a button. If you are using the outside in, then you have to use a screw for femur. And the other technique is you can use an outside in drill and then you can use a slip cutter kind of a device to make the sound. So you want to do a button.
So that in ACL we like 2 to 2 ratio for all the competitors. In PCL obviously.
I can get it.
In ACL like in femur to intraarticular to and tibial to like graft it is like 7 centimeters.
Yes, so at least same is there. So we need at least 2 centimeter of graft in femur and minimum 2 in tibia. And that depends. So that it is the same. But the difference as compared to ACL is that the intra-articular length of PCL is more. So like ACL you have a graft length normally of about 2 to 2.5 centimeters. Here the graft length is at least 4 to 5 centimeters. So we need to have a longer graft as far as the PCL is concerned. So in my practice I like to keep my PCL graft at least 9 centimeters long. So at least 2.5 on the femur, 2.5 on the tibia and 4 to 5 centimeters of the length. So at least graft length of 9 centimeter minimum is required if you are doing PCL, if you are doing buttons on both sides. So 9 centimeter graft is something I keep normally, or maximum 10 centimeters graft that you need if you want to do. Because this intra-articular length of PCL is much more than the PCL because the insertion is very very low down. It is and the origin is on the front of the knee. So it's a longer ligament, it's a stronger ligament, it's a more bulkier ligament as compared to PCL.
How much will be the graft diameter in the arm?
Graft diameter should be more, that's what I'm telling you. So normally if you make a semitendous gracilis quadruple, it will be 7, 8 maybe, but that is less. So that is why we were discussing that we can use a paralyzed graft in those particular cases.
That will come to around 10, sir.
But in case of
9
augmentation,
at least, 8, 9. Yes.
if it is reconstruction,
Even if it is augmentation, you should have a graft of minimum 8 or 9 for PCL because PCL, as I told you, is a more stronger ligament, more bulky, and more forces come on the PCL and more chances of residual long-term laxity as compared to an ACL. So you need to put more focus on the PCL surgery.
Is there any criteria regarding when to reconstruct PCL and then what to do that considering the time?
Now there are many controversies for PCL. Now PCL is a ligament that many people tell that it can be managed conservatively. But if you see most of these studies or most of these papers or most of these books are old books. Nowadays we tend to reconstruct or augment more of PCLs because previously people were doing reconstruction and when doing reconstruction they were actually removing the ligament and putting a new ligament. So obviously if it is a grade 1 injury you don't want to do that. Because your reconstructed ligament will not be stronger than the grade 1 injury of the PCL. But with this technique that I am describing you with the PCL augmentation concept, we are not damaging even a small part of the PCL. We are augmenting it. So I do recommend reconstructing PCL for all injuries grade 2 and above. Grade 1 you can still keep conservative. But all injuries grade 2 and above, I will recommend doing a PCL augmentation surgery because it is no harm. You will actually increase the stability of the knee. If you are removing the footprint and reconstructing it, then obviously you should not do beyond grade 3. Because even if you are doing it for grade 2, you are removing the doing the PCL augment and reconstructing it may be worsen and you may end up into PCL grade 3 follow-ups. You getting me? So with this technique, PCL augmentation, preservation of the native PCL, you can do surgery with grade 2 and above PCL issues.
Is it also guided by the status of the documents?
But no. The important concept here that you must appreciate is if you have a PCL injury, then there is a high chances of cartilage injury, particularly of the patellofemoral compartment, because this is the posterior sac, and whenever there is a posterior sac, you will have more cartilage injury in the front of the knee. That is on the trochlea and the patella. So you will have high chances of patellofemoral and trochlear chondral loss with PCL injuries. So we usually recommend it even if there is a chondral injury. It is also always imperative or good to reconstruct the PCL if it is like a grade 2 and it's not a severe osteoarthritis. Till then you can do this surgery.